All right, today we're going to be working on order of operations. Before we look at this first, the top part, and I apologize, I'm having to hold my iPad and write on this piece of paper at the same time, so I will try not to be too wobbly with it. I have a stand coming in the mail tomorrow, so that will make everything easier the rest of this week. So just bear with me. Order of operations, so rules. The first thing we're going to have to do, take care of in an equation is going to be parentheses. Okay. The next thing that we're going to look for are any exponents. To take care of those next. And the next thing that we're going to be looking for left to right in the equation is going to be multiplication and division. And we're going to take care of those, like I said, going left to right. So meaning if I have an equation and it has both multiplication and division in it, I'm going to complete it in the order that it comes in the equation. The last step that we're going to do is we're going to complete any addition and subtraction that we see. Okay, so let's go back up here and look at the top two. So let's say that we ignore all of these rules and we just work this problem going left to right. And we do what it says in that order. So if I add 15 plus 3, that gives me 18. And then 18 times, because that's what that little dot means, is multiplication. So now I'm going to multiply 18 times 2, and that gives me 36. Well, that is actually wrong. That is not the correct answer. So we have to know how to use these order of operations. It's imperative. It's very, very important. It's going to help us get the correct answer. So we have to know how to use these rules. So if we follow our rules, we don't see any parentheses in this equation. We're looking at working this same equation. Don't see any parentheses. Don't see any exponents. Multiplication and division. So do we see any of that? Yes, we see 3 times 2. So I want to do this first. So 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, I'm going to bring down this 15 plus 6. And when I add 15 plus 6, I get 21. That is the correct answer. So working out an equation and doing it in a certain order makes a big difference. So this is very important. All right, so let's keep going. Let's work out this next problem. And this division sign I'm not sure why I printed off way up there, but it should be right here. Okay, so parentheses, nope. Exponents, nope. Multiplication or division. So I look from left to right and I'm going to do what comes first. So I have a multiplication symbol in between 14 and 3. So I'm going to multiply 14 times 3, which gives me 42. So I'm going to bring down this 15 and I'm going to bring down that negative sign. So 14 times 3 gives me 42. And then I'm going to bring down the divided by 6. Okay, so now again, I'm going to use my order of operations. And now I have division. So I'm going to bring down my 15 because I'm not doing anything with it. Bring down that minus sign. 42 divided by 6 is 7. Okay, so now all I have left is subtraction. So when I subtract 7 from 15, that gives me 6. 8. Sorry, 8. Okay. All right, so let's go over to this next question, or question number 2. So I have a line here, and that line is separating a numerator from a denominator. Well, that line also is a division symbol. So I'm going to just follow my order. I don't have any parentheses, don't have any exponents, but I have multiplication. So I'm going to start on top and work out what I have. So I have multiplication. I have 2 times 7 is 14. And 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. So I have 14 plus 15. And all of that goes over 30 minus 29. Okay, so now then I'm going to do what's on top. So 14 plus 15 gives me 29. Now I'm going to do what's on the bottom. 30 minus 29 gives me 1. And any number over 1 is simply that number. So it's saying how many times will 1 go into 29? 29 times. And so that would be our answer. I like to put just boxes around my answers, and I would like for you to do the same thing. That just kind of lets me know for sure what you intend your answer to be. All right, and let's turn over to the back, and I used a pen that bled through. That's okay. Have another one somewhere close. Hang on just one second. Find it. There we go. And just in case Mr. Hudson walks in here, just ignore him. He's out in the garage and I can hear him. So I don't know if he's going to come in or not. All right, so this next question, number 3. So we look for parentheses. I don't see parentheses. Up at the top, I'm going to write my acronym up here just so I can kind of remember the order that I'm looking for things. So I don't see any parentheses, but I do see an exponent. I see an exponent of 2 attached to the base number 3. So when I take 3 and raise it to the second power, that's going to give me 9. You can come in, it's okay. And then I'm going to bring down everything else. So I'm going to bring down my 10. I see another exponent, 6 raised to the power of 2. So that's simply saying 6 times 6 is 36 divided by 12. So now I'm going to look at what I have here and again use my order of operations. So I'm looking across and I don't see parentheses or exponents. I've gotten rid of that. So now I'm looking for multiplication and division. So I come to multiplication first. So 9 times 10 is 90. And then I'm going to bring down what's left. Now I'm looking for division. I have a division symbol there. So now I'm going to bring down my 90. I'm not doing anything with it. But I am going to divide 36 by 12, which gives me 3. And now I don't have any addition, but I do have subtraction. And 90 minus 3 gives us 87. Okay, our next question, number 4. Looking for any parentheses, and I see a set of parentheses. So I want to clear that out first. So I'm going to bring everything else down just the way it is, because I'm not doing anything with it yet. So whenever I see parentheses, I know I'm going to have to multiply something. So I'm going to multiply this -6, and that sign is not just a subtraction sign, it's a negative sign attached to that 6. So I have to multiply it through what's in the parentheses. So -6 times 2 is going to give us -12. And then -6 times 3 is going to give us negative, shoot, hang on. I am not going to start all over because your teacher just made a mistake. It might still end up being the same thing, but I want to show you that you need to do what's inside the parentheses first. So if I multiply the 2 times the 3, that gives me 6. All right, 3 squared is, we could have done that in that step as well, but we're just going to bring it down. So 3 squared is 9. Negative 6 times 6 is going to be 36, not 12. All right, so now I'm left with multiplication, division. So I'm going to do what I'm looking left to right. So 16 divided by 4 is going to give me 4. I'll bring down what's left. Okay, now I've got to do multiplication. So 4 times 9 is 36 minus 36, which is going to give us 0. Okay. All right, now we've got a really long problem, it looks like. So we're going to have to just take it one step at a time. So I don't see parentheses, don't see exponents, but I do see multiplication. So I'm going to take care of that first. So I have 2 times 7, which is 14. And then I'm going to bring down my 5 minus 3. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do my multiplication here. So 6 times 5 is 30, so I'm going to add 30 and bring down my 3. Okay, so now all I'm left with is addition and subtraction, and I can do that in the order that it comes. Okay, so 14 plus 5 gives me 19. I'm going to bring down everything else, minus 3 plus 30 plus 3. Okay, so now then 19 minus 3 gives me 16. Bring down what's left. 16 plus 30 gives me 46. Plus 3, and yep, my cat just jumped up on the cabinet and knocked down my notebook. Thanks, Sandman. He's not supposed to be on the counter. He knows this, and so he's getting up here to show out. No, you cannot do algebra. You are a smart kitty, but you are not that smart. Down you go. Sorry. Okay. All right, our last problem looks kind of icky, but it's really not. Not when we have our steps and we know the order in which to do things. But notice there's something a little different in this problem. You notice you have something that looks not quite like a set of parentheses, but these are actually called, that's a bracket. Okay, so whenever we see a bracket, it like jumps out at us. So we need to do whatever is in that bracket first. Okay. And I hope I'm not making you too sick. I'm trying to be steady, but I know I'm probably not being. So I'm going to clear out what's in the bracket first. So 4 squared is 16. Okay. Divided by okay, now I'm going to do what's in the parentheses, which is 16, and I'm going to close that, plus 5. All of that is going to be over 4 squared is 16 minus 13. Okay, so now I've still got some stuff inside that bracket that needs to be taken care of. So I'm going to bring this up over here. So I have 20 minus, and 16 divided by 16 is 1. And I'm going to add my plus 5. And all of that goes over 16 minus 13. All right, so now I can do what's on top in the order. So 20 minus 1 is 19. 19 plus 5 is 24. And 16 minus 3 on the bottom gives me 3. Now then I'm going to divide, because that is it looks like a fraction, but all a fraction is a division problem. So 24 divided by 3 gives me 8. Okay. All right, so that is the completion